In the Haftarah of Parshas Vayera, we read the powerful miracle story of Elisha, when a woman, a recent widow, goes to the Navi, goes to the prophet, and says, Avdecha ishi meis, my husband has died. The Hanoisha and the collectors, the creditors who we owe money to, are coming to take my two sons as slaves. They're coming to take my children as slaves. What should I do? I have no money. Elisha asks her, what do you have? To which she responds, I have nothing but one small flask of oil, kiim asuch shaman. So Elisha said, here's what you should do. Go out and borrow kalim. Go out and borrow empty vessels, empty cups, empty jugs. Kalim rekim al tamiti, and don't stop. Get as many jugs, empty jugs as you can. Pour from this flask into those empty jugs. You will see a miracle that the oil from this flask will never diminish. It will never go out. You will be able to fill as many kalim, as many cups as you bring into your house. And you and your children will live with abundance. That's the story. And so it happened. The Alter Rebbe brings a very moving Chassidus interpretation to this story. The soul, the Isha, the Makabel, the receiver of godliness, goes to the Navi, goes to Hashem, and says, Avdecha ishi meis, my servant, your fire. Ishi could mean my husband, or it could mean your fire. My fire is dead. I used to feel motivated. I used to feel religious, inspired, spiritual, ambitious. But avdecha ishi meis, that fire of your servant is dead. Now all I have left is the creditor. My animal soul is coming just to take my banai, my ava, my yira. I have no positive feelings left. I'm on empty. I feel crushed, deflated. And this is the story of a soul that turns to God, or turns to the rabbi, turns to spirituality and says, I just feel on empty. Now what? Where do I go from there? I feel like I'm at zero. To which Elisha responds, what do you have? And she says back, I have nothing. All I have is one jug of oil, which corresponds to the essence of the soul. I know deep down I do care. I know in my persona, in my emotions, in my motivation, I feel none of it. But I know deep down I have it somewhere. I have one pure jug of oil. The essence of the soul is obviously still pure, holy, and remains intact. But how do I get it out of there? It's just stuck in the essence of my soul. So Elisha says, you acknowledge, you know deep down you have it, you know that it's there in your essence. Kalim rekim al tamiti. Just bring it out in empty vessels. Do good things. Do holy things. Do spiritual things. Do motivational things. Even if you don't feel the emotion behind them, but action will bring with it emotion. When you do Torah mitzvahs, when you do the right thing, acknowledging that deep down I know that essentially this is what I care about, and I will do, and not get caught up in the paralysis of my feeling numb and empty, then you'll see how that oil will come out slowly but surely. It will gush forth in a never-ending river, constantly filling your actions further and further. And not only will the creditor not take your children, you'll see how your children, your emotions, which are children of our thoughts and our thought process, you'll see how your children come back with abundance and with a gush. The love will come back, the love of God will come back, the fear of God will come back. That's the Alter Rebbe's interpretation, beautiful interpretation of this story. Now there's a science behind this, a counterintuitive science, which is, we think, naturally, that our actions are byproducts of our feelings and our thoughts. Because I think a certain way, because I feel a certain way, therefore I act a certain way. But over here we see that the truth is the other way around. It's not that my thoughts and my emotions breed my actions. In a sense, my actions breeds my headspace, and my actions could create my emotions. We see this in Pirkei Avos. In Pirkei Avos it says, one who has a lot of wisdom but not a lot of action is compared to a tree that has tremendous big branches but very small roots. One who has a lot of action but not a lot of wisdom, compared to someone that has strong roots but not a lot of branches. Seemingly, which one should be the roots and which one should be the branches? We'd imagine the wisdom is the roots, because the actions only stem from the brain or the heart. But the truth is the other way around. The head and the heart really ultimately stem from the actions. The actions are where our persona begins. What triggers our essence? What triggers that pure jug of oil that can never be touched, that can never be tapped, and that can never be numbed or snuffed out? Our actions bring that out. And our good actions could put us into a good headspace and to a good emotional space. I read an interesting study once of a study where they told college students that they were testing out wireless earphones, and they wanted to see how it works when you move your head. So they played some music for them. So they said some people keep your head still, some people move your head right to left, and some people move your head up and down. So they played some songs, and in between they played a commercial about raising college tuition. They said college tuition right now is at a certain number, and they played a convincing commercial that they should raise college tuition. So at the end, they were giving a survey about these headphones, and they said, so what do you think about raising college tuition? And they were fascinated to see that the people that weren't shaking their head, they were pretty much unmoved by the commercial. 50% said yes, 50% said no. Those who were raising their head up and down, bobbing to the music, they were subconsciously doing the act of acknowledging the commercial. They were up 70-80% of them said, yes, you should raise college tuition. And those who were bobbing their head like this to the music, had like 30-40% of that say you should raise college tuition. You would ask them, they wouldn't tell you the reason why I chose my decision about college tuition was because I was moving my head to the music. We think that our personality begins in our brains and in our heart. But the truth is our personality begins in our actions. And based on the way I act, that's the way my spiritual stature will be. Even when we feel empty, even when we feel numb, deflated, and just down by the state of being in the world, we could be heroic, even if we don't feel heroic. We could be forces of good, even if we don't feel like we're forces of good. Because when we do good things, and we consistently hack at bringing in kelim reikim, empty kelim, even if they feel empty, but I'm doing something good, I'm doing something helpful, I'm doing something motivational, then that brings with it the feelings too. Va'atu v'nayich tichi v'nayser. You and your children, your emotions, your headspace will follow those actions, and you'll feel it in abundance. As the saying goes, heroes aren't extraordinary people. Heroes are ordinary people that do extraordinary things. Some people do the right things, do amazing things, and the character builds around those actions. So we shouldn't wait for our actions to trail our headspace. We should set our actions before our headspace, and then our head and our heart will follow along. Have a great Shabbos.